If you've been thinking about purchasing property in Edgewater, Florida, this video is going to be for you. Now, my name is Mickayla Fatovic. I am a real estate broker in the state of Florida. I am currently local to Brevard County, Florida. However, I service the entire state and I go around the entire state, you guys, to do business in real estate, whether that's over to Northport, Miami, Orlando, up to Edgewater, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, really anywhere and everywhere in this state we service. So I always love going into new places, and Edgewater was a new place for me. I was actually looking at purchasing real estate for myself, and there was a big reason why I decided against that. Now, I'm currently sitting in the home that's about to make me about 100,000 plus in net, and that's great, right? So I have enough leverage to kind of buy another home with little to no money down, have some money left off to the side so I can invest. And plus, I'll have another lot to liquidate and then be able to move that money into another investment. So I'm very big on how can we make our money work for us. I don't want to ever buy a house that's going to do me more damage than not. The house that I'm in, this is my first home. Now, I will say the state of Florida's real estate market as an entirety is total shit. So if you can hold off on purchasing now, I say do it just because I think that 2025 might be a little bit better than this year. But if you're like me and you're going to purchase throughout your entire life, then every single market you just have to adapt with. Now, Edgewater is absolutely beautiful. I loved it. I really did. And I was about to purchase a home there. And I found this a great triple lot home, and they did an amazing job. But as soon as we came into the neighborhood, the very first thing that we noticed is that almost no drainage was present in this area. And I'm like, what's going on? Because I'm from Brevard County, and Brevard County, we got drainage. We got drainage everywhere, especially over here in Palm Bay. Every single house that we have here has some form of drainage out front. And if they don't, it's usually because they were an older build and then they just never adapted to the new codes. So, it is what it is. But for the most part, our drainage system here really isn't horrible in comparison to other locations. So my standard's a little bit higher when it comes to the drainage canal system specifically. In Edgewater, the neighborhoods, they don't really have strong drainage canals. Their drainage canals are all full of water. You should not really see your canal systems full of water all the time. That's actually a sign of some type of underlying issue. Your canal system should be somewhat relatively low and or empty. The smaller the canal system, like in front of your house, off to the sides of the roads, you want to see those empty. You do not want to see those filled to the very, very brim or halfway when there hasn't been any rain or there's been a little bit of rain. That's concerning. Now, Edgewater had no drainage canal systems in front of the homes, anywhere. And in addition to this, they also had very small pipings in front of the newer construction homes. So you had this very, very small drainage system right out front of your house, but then your neighbor didn't even have shit. So that's great. And then most of the homes are somewhere near a drainage canal, but then the drainage canal, the home we were looking at, the drainage canal was in the backyard. So the drainage canal, it was reasonably deep, but not deep enough considering that there wasn't a lot more canal systems. And it was just too much on that one canal system. There was water in there, and our first questions going into this really beautiful house was, has it ever flooded? Because there is no supporting canal systems in the local neighborhoods to indicate that we could be reliant upon a heavy rainfall without flooding. And just being in property management and being around, for a few years, I could just tell, and so could Eric. So we asked the listing agent and we asked the homeowner just for a general disclosure. We need to know, has this house ever been impacted by flooding? Now, before I got the answer, you would probably say, well, in between that time frame, what did you do? How did you find out that house had flooded? Number one, I looked for signs inside of the house. There was flooring strips that had come undone, but they're like tile flooring strips, which is kind of like a giveaway of some type of high moisture situation. In addition to that, it was very like moist on the soil, even though we were having very light rain. And then the canal systems. Now, in addition to this, I just went onto Google and YouTube and I searched Edgewater flooding. And you'll never guess what happened. There was a bunch of flooding in Edgewater recently. And it wasn't even a direct hit from the hurricane. It was an indirect hit over landfall. So basically, the hurricane hit on the west coast and carried over to the east coast across the land, and that's what caused the flooding. Now, these guys had flash flooding that destroyed the inside of their home, and I was able to discover this first on YouTube, and then the seller came back, and the listing agent came back, and they were honest, which I totally am so thankful for, because we love to see that in the real estate market. There's not a lot of that. And they plain out said to us, yes, this house was damaged by flash flooding. And I asked them, okay, well, can you elaborate? Like, what happened? And me and Eric were like, I guarantee you it was that canal system in the back. And it was the canal system in the back. Edgewater is not built for drainage at all. And you are right next to the water. Now, in comparison, Brevard County, for example, even though I'm inland and there's water really close to me, I have an entire beach infrastructure across the river. So we have a river, then beach, then ocean. So anything that is coming from the ocean is going to hit the beach, have to come through the river, and then make its way to the land. And that is enough of a boundary. So when it hits here, yes, we do have some flash flooding, but it's nothing like what Edgewater experienced in the last, 5-10 years that I'm at least aware of. So my expectations buying a home are it needs to have canal system drainage, and the infrastructure of the city needs to be able to withstand heavy rainfall. A puddle because of, just poor infrastructure every now and again is okay. But flash flooding because of poor infrastructure, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage, and FEMA having to possibly get involved if your neighborhood floods. Okay, we don't want to be like how we're seeing Miami and other locations right now. We want to see good infrastructure. We want to be on high elevation. So, before you buy an Edgewater, just keep in mind the fact that you are probably going to encounter a lot of flooding. And if I, just saying, as myself, as a broker first, and as an investor second, and as a homeowner third, if I'm spending $400,000, $500,000, $380,000, whatever fucking amount I am spending, if it's $1, I am going to make sure that my dollar is working for me in the best possible way it can't. And me going and buying a house that's at a high flood risk factor, not necessarily from being in a flood zone, but because of canal systems or rain, then that's not a good investment to me. I want to buy something else somewhere else. So what I decided after going to the Edgewater property that I was going to end up buying, but decided against due to the historical data and the fact that the flooding is there and the canal system suck, I decided that Brevard County still takes the cake. And again, that's just because the infrastructure here is a little bit better. Now, I know it's not the best and yada, 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 but I will tell you that Brevard County does have, especially more south, more in the south central regions than anything, we're seeing a lot more development and ability to hold those high rains and the heavy rains. And that to me is the most important factor, considering we live in hurricane land. And yeah. So I really just suggest if you're going to Edgewater and you're purchasing an Edgewater, be aware, do your due diligence, get a mold test if you do decide to purchase there, and just go and speak to the neighbors. I know that's really weird and creepy, but I do it all the time. I've had tenants do it of mine. I've had landlords go and do it, investors go and do it. Go talk to the fucking neighbors. When you're in due diligence buying a home, go knock on the door of your neighbors and just talk to them. Hi, I'm thinking about purchasing this house. Could you tell me about the area? Have you ever experienced flooding? When it rains, do you get a lot of water in the road? Um, how's the wind? This is Florida, so we have a lot of high wind. But when the high winds come, like, how is it? Like, is it really scary? Are you like fearing for your life? Or is your house shaking down? How many tornadoes have you been through here? Like, these are all questions you need to ask because this is an extreme weather area. And if you can't put up with that, then, like, you know what I'm saying? This is not the area for you. The very least you should do for yourself, if this is an area and you can deal with that type of weather, is go talk to the neighbors and do your due diligence and really just inspect for those high moisture results like the mold. It doesn't hurt to do that additional due diligence. And if you guys are really just curious about purchasing in the state of Florida, anywhere, whether that's in Edgewater, Jacksonville, or anywhere else that is like Palm Bay, Melbourne, Brevard County, Orlando, over there in Northport, Sarasota, Miami, statewide, we do it all. So I will talk to you guys, and don't feel bad for wanting to reach out to someone to talk to, because like the best thing you could ever do for yourself when buying real estate in today's market is to ask questions. And you're not stupid for asking questions, and anybody that makes you feel stupid for asking questions or that tries to retain information because of whatever excuse under their book that they have is just not for you. You deserve to be able to learn. You deserve to ask questions. You deserve to have answers, and you deserve to be able to do due diligence that serves you. So, if you guys want somebody who actually gives a fuck about your real estate purchases and investments and isn't just going to be like, oh yeah, this is a great house, and slap it on the back and sell it to you, for a fucking $500,000, definitely keep us in mind. We are property managers. We have sold and closed for leasing and selling over 300 transactions since 2023. And we're still going. Like, I got this one under contract. I have another one I have to list. I have another one I have to list. Another one I have to list. I got a whole lot. I have a lot. I have a lot. So we have the experience, and we're always happy to help however we can. And the nice thing about having us as like your buying agents is the fact that we don't just go and look at the property just to look at the property. We have the eyes of a property manager. So we can usually see like, hey, I might want to get this inspected a little bit further. You know what I'm saying? Like my investors from out of state have me go to their properties and do their final walkthroughs for them, just because they're confident in the fact that if I see something, I'll say something. And I always do. We're very particular about our products, and we want our clients to be satisfied with what we are providing and helping them acquire, because real estate is a massive purchase. And I don't think that a lot of agents respect that enough. So we're always here for you guys. My phone number is 201-952-4665. You can call or text me during normal business hours. If you get me after hours, I might just tell you to text me, and then we can pick the conversation back up during normal business hours. But also, feel free to email us at broker@localpmc.com. And I'm always going to be here to help you guys as much as I can. Obviously, I can't work for free, so there will be boundaries set on this. Limitations are there, but I am here to help you guys and represent you guys and teach you guys on how to make smart purchases in the state of Florida and how to really just get the most bang for your buck. Because overall, how the hell are we supposed to get generational wealth for making bad purchases? And I am notorious for walking my clients out of bad deals. So rest assured that we don't ever want to see you guys go on a bad deal. And if we see that you acquire something that's not working out, we will do whatever we can to help you get into a better situation, whether that's exchanging out or just really ensuring that you're trying to get the equity out that you got in. All right. So I will talk to you guys later, and stay safe, stay dry, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.